Hey everyone, we've got another specimen today, and you can see this one's got a little more to it than just the heart. So we do have the heart, the lungs, and the liver, and as well as what appears to be the stomach. So kind of have a more definitive understanding of how this heart would have sat in the chest. It would have sat roughly like this. This would have been superior, inferior, left, right, anterior coming out to the screen, posterior towards the turntable, and here we see the trachea up top here. Then we see the heart, left lung, right lung, liver, and then stomach here. But let's go ahead and turn our attention to the heart first. And here we find what looks convincingly to be a right atrial appendage. It's triangular, it's broad-based, so let's open it up, start there. And we do see pectinate muscles that spill outside of the confines of the atrial appendage, consistent with the morphologic right atrium. As we expose this atrium up more, here is the oval window. And we do, in fact, see an atrial septal defect in the confines of the oval fossa here. So there is an atrial septal defect within the oval fossa. And then we also find the coronary sinus. Sorry, it seems like the camera isn't focusing as well as I'd like it. Let me try to reposition this. There we go. There is the coronary sinus here. And then, of course, with our coronary sinus, the tricuspid valve, and the tendon of Totaro, that forms the triangle of Koch. So the triangle of Koch would be here, and its apex would be right here. And that is where we would expect the atrioventricular node to be. All right, so the triangle of Koch is delineated by the coronary sinus, the tendon of Totaro, and the tricuspid valve. Sorry, this is having a little difficulty focusing today. There we go. Then when we move to this ventricle, we do find what appears to be a morphologic right ventricle. The right-sided atrioventricular valve here appears to be a tricuspid valve. There is a septal leaflet here, and then two other leaflets. So there are three leaflets to the right-side atrioventricular valve. This does have septal connections, so consistent with the morphologic tricuspid valve. So we would expect that the ventricle it's associated with is a morphologic right ventricle. And the right ventricle does have, this ventricle I should say, does have coarse trabeculations, and does appear to have a septomarginal trabeculation here, consistent with the morphologic right ventricle. And so here's the septomarginal trabeculation, cranial limb, and the caudal limb of the septomarginal trabeculation. Now as we go up into the outflow tract here, we find a pulmonary valve that does have three leaflets. Remember, the pulmonary valve is supported entirely by muscle. Here's the pulmonary outflow tract that gives rise to both pulmonary arteries as well, okay? We'll flip this back to look at the back of the heart real quick. And here we find another atrium. But you can see that this atrium, I'm sorry if this is not focusing as well. All right, let's see if I can get this to focus. There we go. And this atrium is smooth-walled without pectinate muscles spilling outside the appendage, consistent with a morphologic left atrium. And we do see the atrial septal defect now within the confines of the oval fossa. Let me try to focus on that a little more. So here's the left atrium, and then you can see the defect in the oval fossa here. And then there is another atrioventricular valve here. This one's obviously on the left side. This one appears to have two leaflets, one here and one here, and doesn't appear to have any septal connections. So this, in fact, appears to be a morphologic mitral valve. And we can see the papillary muscles here, which are very close. In fact, even appear to be a single papillary muscle. It's hard to bring them apart from each other. So a mitral valve here. And then we would expect this to be a morphologic left ventricle with fine crisscross trabeculations. Appears that it is. We go up and follow out the left ventricular outflow tract here. And we find what appears to be an aortic valve. There's three leaflets. 1, 2, 3. There are three sinuses as well. 1, 2, and 3. And we can note that there is, in fact, continuity between the leaflets of the aortic valve and the mitral valve here. Okay. And so this is going to be the anterior or mitral leaflet of, the anterior or the aortic leaflet of the mitral valve. And then this is going to be the posterior or the mural leaflet of the mitral valve. And of course, if this is the aortic valve, this in fact is the aorta here. All right. So far nothing super exciting, but we do have everything connected. And if we look from here, we can kind of see a peek as to what is going on. We see pulmonary veins that appear to drain into what appears to be another vascular structure. And so the exciting part of this heart comes now, which is now going to be the venous connections. So let's put everything in place as we would expect it to be like this. And now if we flip the heart over, left lung, right lung, and here we find the pulmonary veins, left upper, left lower, right upper, right lower. All the veins come together, drain into a confluence, which then courses inferiorly, and then in fact drains into the hepatic circulation. So once again, left upper, left lower, right lower pulmonary veins, all draining into a vertical vein that then drains into the hepatic circulation here, okay? So total anomalous pulmonary venous connection of the infracardiac type. So in this heart, we've had total anomalous pulmonary venous connection of the infracardiac type, as well as an atrial septal defect within the oval fossa.